guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am back, and I'm back sooner than I had expected. I didn't want to post a video for at least a good 3 weeks until I felt it was appropriate to, but I had 2 people in my inbox asking me why I stopped doing my videos, and I made a post on Instagram because I wasn't sure if it was appropriate for me to continue doing my makeup. But then I was reminded, like, girl, like, this is the time for black creators like myself, because I am black, you guys. I might be mixed race, I am black and Mexican, but I'm still black, okay? So this is the time for creators like myself to put their content out there and be seen, because due to the most recent murder, which I'm not really going to get into, but due to the most recent murder of George Floyd, there's a lot more visibility for black-owned businesses, black entrepreneurs, and black creators. So that's why I'm here. Anyway, this is the eye we're doing today. I posted this look on Instagram like a couple weeks ago, I think. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe like 2 weeks ago. And I hadn't filmed it, so I'm filming it now. And this is going to be an all drugstore look. For complexion, I'm going to have to mix one of my higher end brands with my drugstore foundation, because I don't have any drugstore foundation that matches me right now. But as far as the eyes go, everything's going to be drugstore. So let's just get started. I already laid my base down. Now the base is not drugstore. I did use my cream contour palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills and my Stellar concealer, just because I like how the cream on my eyelid looks, and I like the tone of this concealer. But when I apply concealer to the rest of my face, when I do my complexion, it will be drugstore. But I just wanted to disclose that this is not a drugstore base. Alright, so I'm first going to be going in with the BHCosmetics Desert Oasis palette. I have not used this palette in a while. I don't know if this is still sold either, but it's a beautiful palette, perfect for summer. It's got a lot of shimmers, and it's got a lot of big pans of transition colors. So I'm going to be going in with this shade right here, and that is the shade Canyon. And if you're a deeper complexion, you can go in with this shade right here, and that is the shade Dune. But I'm going to be using Canyon for my first shade. And I'm going to be placing that, hold on, let me get some pigment off my brush. I'm going to be placing that on the outer and inner corner of my eye. I do not have my base set. So let me see if I can do this. I have a little bit of creasing, let me just tap that out. I usually do this eye off camera, or this eye off camera, and do this one on camera. This eye has been really fucking me up lately, so, well, actually they both have. They've both been really watery, so I figure it doesn't matter which one I do on camera anymore, because they're both watery AF, so I'm just applying this on the outer and inner corner of my eye. Bringing it slightly above my crease on the outer corner. And then on the inner part, I'm keeping it below my crease. I could already feel this eye watering on the outer corner. So annoying. My eyes are just super sensitive the older I get. I take allergy meds and it still doesn't help any. I use eye drops nonstop. Still doesn't help. It's really annoying. Alright, So now that I have that placed, I'm going to go in with a blending brush and connect the two sides through my crease. And what I like about these BHCosmetics shadows from this palette is that they blend out super easily and very beautifully, and you can stack the mattes without it turning into a muddy mess, so I like that too. And there's not too much fallout in the pan. Like I say in all my videos, I don't care about fallout, but if you do, that's why I mention it. Alright, so just blending that out, as you can see. Next, I'm going to go in with my black lipstick. You guys know, I'm sure a lot of people are like that watch my videos like, oh my god, another smoky eye. Look, I love smoky eyes. I have some videos that I had pre-recorded. I'll be posting them after this video where I don't do a smoky eye. But you guys, like, tell me that doesn't look good. I mean, if something looks good, why am I gonna stop doing it, okay? I love smoky eyes, but like I said, I can do other things, but I think the rounded smoky eye is the best technique that goes with my eye shape. Just, you know, just my opinion. I do like cat eyes too, but doing wings is so difficult for me, so that's why I don't do them so often, but I do have a few videos I'll have out soon with some winged liner. And I've been practicing doing that fox eye look with eyeshadow. I still haven't gotten it correct, so that's why there hasn't been a video, because I don't want to show you guys shit. I mean, none of my videos are tutorials really, because I'm not a professional. I'm just a makeup enthusiast, and I love makeup. But I do want to show you guys looks that, or techniques that you can use at home that you may or may not already know how to do, and show you how they look on my eye, and then you can decide if it's a technique you want to try out in your eyeshadow game. So I'm basically covering that, well, almost covering up that Canyon shade with the black lipstick. And you guys know, same one I always use, Milani Black Spell. And then I'm going in with the shade Nightscape, which is this dark matte brown right here, and it's a neutral. And I'm going to place that on top of that black lipstick. Gotta find the brush. So I'm not bringing it all the way to the end of that black. I'm going to reapply the Canyon shade after I apply the shimmer, but I'm going to apply this Nightscape shade on the outermost part of my eye and the innermost part as well. I'm just really building that shade up. And I'm going past my lash line because my eyes do water. So the farther I bring it out, the less likely the entire outer corner will be washed away when my eye eventually starts to water, because it will. And I'm bringing this up just a little bit past my crease on the outside corner. And then on the inside corner, I'm keeping it below my crease. All right, so I'm going to line my eyes now. I'm using the LA Girl Gel Glide Pencil. This, I don't know if it's the formula, but this does make my eye water, but I don't have any drugstore brown eyeliner. I usually use the IT Cosmetics No Tug liner, but since it's not drugstore, this is my other option. So I'm just going to try to be gentle with it. It is gel, so it's not like it's tugging or anything, but there's something about this formula that my eyes don't like, but I'm gonna make it work. And I'm taking that liner on my upper and lower waterline all the way to my inner corner. All right, so now we're going to work on the middle section, that little blank spot right there. And I'm using a NYX Pigment in the shade Twinkle. And it's this mint shade. It does have a shimmer, it's not a matte. And I'm going to be applying it using the NYX Glitter Glue. So I have my brush. Apply the glue on the brush. Wipe some of it off on the back of my hand. And then apply. And then as far as the pigment goes, which I probably should have done this already, I like working from the cap, so I just pour some of the pigment into the cap and then just work from there. So I'm first applying the glitter, or first applying the glitter glue. Trying not to have the mirror in the way. Sorry, guys. And I am overlapping it on the black lipstick to either side of this open space. And I'm bringing the glue all the way up into my crease area. And then I'm just going to use that same brush and dip into Twinkle and pat it on my lid. Now you are going to have some fallout, so I definitely suggest if you're doing this look and you're using pigments to do it before you do your eye makeup. Oh, and the reason I chose this color story is because it's summer and mint chocolate chip ice cream is one of my favorite flavors. So this was inspired by mint chocolate chip ice cream. A little bit dark, you know, a little bit smokier, but you guys know I love a good smoke. If you guys want to see something a little lighter, using the same mint shade, let me know, because I can totally create that. But you know, if it's up to me, I'm always going to go dark. I'm always going to go dark. So I'm using the shade Canyon on the perimeter where the pigment and the shade Nightscape meet, and I'm making a little transition area. Then of course going back in with the brush that I used to apply Nightscape with no extra product and making sure the blend looks nice. And then once again going back in with the shade Canyon on this crease brush and blending my crease, making sure that harsh line on the outer corner is blended away. I can feel my eye watering on the outer corner. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to try my best to cover that up, but we'll see. My eyes just, they don't want me to be great. All right, then I'm going to go in with that with that same Nightscape shade on the same brush, and I'm going to outline my eye socket. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm just pressing it. in that eye socket. So it kind of creates like a ring around my eye. So it gives it a little bit more depth in my crease and really brings out my lid shade. And I am going to apply more of that Twinkle shade because I do see that it's kind of being blended away. But I'm trying to get this crease working first. And I'm just applying that Canyon shade from the outer to the inner corner in windshield wiper motions. And then when I get to the outer corner, I'm using little circular motions. Right now I'm going in with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder. And I've done this in the past. I use this as a transition color up in my, up near my eyebrow, so I don't have that white cast. I don't bring it all the way up into my eyebrow because I do like that little line of lightness where it keeps my brow lifted, but this will help blend out the eyeshadows up into my crease. And since they're around the same tone, it adds to the look very nicely and helps me achieve that gradient effect. So this eye is a little bit smokier than this eye, so I'm going to pop off camera and reapply some more of the Nightscape and Canyon shades, blend it out, and we'll be back to work on, or I'll be back to work on the lower lash line. Alright, so I finished blending out my top lid. Time to move on to the bottom. Going in with the good old lipstick again. And I'm going to apply that on my lower lash line. Once again, if you are doing this, use a lipstick that you only use for your eyes. Don't be putting lipstick that you put on your mouth in your eye because you are just asking for an eye infection, okay? Alright, so here we go. Black lipstick from the outer corner, dragging it in the lashes, not trying to bring it too low, and just tapping it to that inner corner. Just like that. And then taking that shade Nightscape, and I'm going to be using a different brush to apply it because I want it close to my lashes. I'm just going to press it on top of the lipstick. I'm not blending it. I'm just using it to set that lipstick. If you can hear the birds, it's because my window's open. It's a gorgeous day outside. I'm going to pick up Lady early today, and we're going to play in the sprinkler because it's like going to be mid 80s today. So I have to go pick her up later. But yeah, just in case you're wondering, why do I hear birds? It's because my window's open. All right, so next I'm going to go in with the Canyon shade, and I'm going to use this busted ass MAC brush. I got this in a set. It's busted, but I use it for things like this. I'm just going to tap that Canyon shade underneath the Nightscape shade, just to give a small blend from the inner to the outer corner. My eye is watering. Trusty Q-tip. It's not watering as bad as it usually does, but it's trying. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with my blending brush, Canyon shade, and I'm going right on top of that Nightscape shade. And I'm going to blend. And I'm going to blend all the way around, just like that. Making sure I connect that outer and, making sure I connect the outer corner. Alright, so now for this mint shade underneath the eye. Using the same brush that I used on the top lash line. Same pigment. Tapping it into the cap. Once again, this is the NYX Pigment in the shade Twinkle. I use this often. But since it's a pigment, you don't need a lot of it to get payoff, so it's going to last me a while. Alright, so first I'm going to apply the Glitter Glue, also from NYX. And I'm just applying it to the middle of my lower lash line, and then going in with that pigment and stamping it. That was a lot. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be dusting some of that away because that's intense. That's intense. All right. I didn't mean to make it that intense. So I'm going in with the brush that I used for Nightscape. And I'm going to press it on either side of that pigment to blend it, because I did not mean for it to go out that far, nor did I mean for it to go down that low. So I'm going to fix that with Nightscape, and then I'm going to apply Canyon underneath it to blend some of that pigment away, as you can see. All right, so those are the eyes. My eye is watering. All right, so I'm gonna pop off camera, do my mascara, and I am going to do my face in this video. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep it all drugstore, and I'll be right back with that. All right, guys, so I'm back and I applied my mascara. Now, when I'm doing my videos and I'm going to take my makeup off after filming the videos, I never use waterproof mascara because it is a bitch to get off, okay? So for today, I am using the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. This I do use every day, even underneath my waterproof mascara. So this is really good. And then I used the NYX On The Rise mascara. And I do not believe this comes in a waterproof version, even though if it did, I would love it because this does give great length. However, for my lashes, I need waterproof mascara in order to keep them up. So they look really nice and high now, but give it a couple of hours and they'll fall. But I would love to see NYX come out with this as a waterproof. And then Essence again, this is the I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. This is my first time using this. I only bought it because it was on sale at Ulta. And I love the Essence Lash Primer, so I said, why not? And y'all know I really fuck hard with the Essence Lash Princess. I did get the green one, the one that's not waterproof, so I'll probably use that in a different video. But currently my favorite mascara from Essence is the Lash Princess Waterproof, which is the one in the blue tube. Okay, so let's get into this look. I have my Beauty Blender soaking in that hot water. And we're going to try to make this as drugstore as possible. Like I said, none of my drugstore foundations match me right now. The darkest one I have right now is Nude Beige, and I'm about 2 shades darker than this. So I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of my Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. But for concealer, you guys know I would usually color correct, but since I'm wearing a smoky eye, I don't really need to. Concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Best concealer ever if you have dry under eyes. And y'all know how I do my concealer. I always apply it first. Oh, I did prime my skin. I don't have any drugstore primers because they just don't work for me. So I used the Tatcha water cream all over my face and then the Beauty Blender leveler on my nose to fill in my pores. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit a bit and go in and mix my foundation. Alright, so I think I have that done correctly. I'm going to take out my Beauty Blender from the water and squeeze it out on the towel that I have in my lap. And I'm going to start blending out this concealer. It blends out so nicely, but as you can see, it leaves a very nice brightness. I don't have any cream contours from the drugstore. Because like I said, I have this cream contour palette from Anastasia. So I'm not one of the people that like doubles up on things. When I've already found my favorite. So I'm not going to say I'm a drugstore queen, But when it comes to mascaras and concealers and eyeshadows, I'm drugstore all the way. Drugstore / affordable. Because I like ColourPop and I like Juvia's Place, but technically those aren't drugstore. They're not like a Maybelline or anything. But they're definitely more affordable than stuff you'll find at Sephora. So since I do have a really deep tan right now, this concealer is going to look casket ready under my eyes. But I have to put on my foundation anyway, so it'll all work out in the end. So I didn't want you guys to be like, oh, girl, that's too light. And I'm just using this concealer to help shape out my eyes. Oh, I look so pale. All right, let's get this foundation on. Let's get it on pronto. All right, so get it off there. Use the butt of the Beauty Blender and apply it everywhere. This is still a little warm, but I'll be able to make it work. I had bought the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation in Amber Beige. The darkness was correct, but the undertone was too pink. So that was really annoying. So I have to go and find another shade because I loved the formula, but it was just too pink for my skin. I run neutral usually, but when I have a tan, I go golden. And it was, it looked terrible when you looked at the shade. Now, when you looked at the consistency and how it looked in my skin, it was gorgeous, but I couldn't get past the shade. It was not cute at all. Alright, so I'm just going to blend that down my neck a little bit. Add a little bit around my chin because that's where the most blemishes are. I'm mainly concentrating this foundation on the outer part of my face since this is a little darker. And then I'll mix in a little bit more of the L'Oreal Infallible to lighten it up a little bit and then apply it on the middle of my face. I haven't used a beauty blender in so long, and I kind of remember why I don't use these anymore. I much prefer the L'Oreal sponge, but I can't find them at the moment, and I really wanted to get this video done, so. Beauty blender, the sponge used to be the shit, but there's so many alternatives now that you don't have to spend $20 to get a flawless beat anymore. Alright, so for contour, I'm going in with my Hard Candy highlight and contour stick, and this is in the shade Medium. I use this a lot. If you follow my channel, you know. So the bridge of my nose is actually okay. It's not too wide, so I'm just going to go on the sides of that. But as I come down my nose, I'm going to bring those lines in. I'm not the best at contouring my nose, as you can see. It kind of looks crooked, but I'm gonna make it work. Alright, so when it comes to powder, it's kind of rough because I don't use drugstore powder, so we're just gonna wing it because I don't know how this is gonna look. So I'm going in with the Brighten Up powder from Essence. I was gonna look like it has a mirror. And I'm just going to take the normal brush that I use to apply my under eye powder and do the same method that I usually do, which is take some on the brush, swipe it off in my hand, and then go underneath my eye. The powder that I've been obsessed with for underneath my eyes currently is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Powder, the pressed one, and it is in the shade Medium. I love that powder so much. Alright, so now that I set my under eye, I'm going to go back in with that BHCosmetics Desert Oasis palette and use the shade Canyon and blend that out a little bit better because it does look a little harsh. So I'm just going to use a fluffier brush with a very little bit of product on it. And just blend out where the eyeshadow meets the foundation. Alright. Right, now I'm going to blend out my nose. And usually I bake my nose, so let me do that too. I have my sponge right here from Eco Tools. And this is the powder I use to bake my nose. It's the Catrice Prime and Fine. Alright. And then to set my face, I'm going to go in with Naturally Neutral from Airspun. Now, usually I would go in with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder, but, so I'm going to do this very, very lightly because this is a bit light for me right now, even though, whoop, I just dropped a whole bunch of shit, sorry. Okay, so even though this does say it's neutral, it's the right tone, but it's definitely too light for my skin tone, so I'm just going to lightly set everything. You don't really need to set a lot because, like I said, the Charlotte Tilbury is pretty matte. And I'm just going to let my nose bake for a little bit longer. Alright, so for my nose contour, I'm going to use the LA Girl Blushed Babe palette. Find my brush that I use all the time. We're going to use a different brush today. We're going to use this little brush from Eco Tools. And I'm going in with this shade right here. And I always go under the tip first because I want my nose to look a little bit more turned up. And then I go along the sides. And I tap, I don't swipe because I don't want to pull up any foundation underneath. And I always bring that contour with the powder up into my brow area. I don't know if you guys can notice the difference, but I definitely notice the difference. Alright, now for blush, going in with the same palette, I'm going to use these two blushes right here. I always start my blush from back here. And I know you guys are like, you haven't even bronzed yet. Yeah, well, I switched it up. I blush first. And the reason I don't put my blush on the apples of my cheek is because I'm already a little chunky, so I'm not trying to like make my face look chunkier by having larger cheeks. I'd rather have it on the side where it accents my cheekbone area that you can already see without contour, but when I, you know, bronze and do a little bit of contour, it's going to be really prominent. And I just put that excess blush on my forehead area because if the sun were hitting you, that's where it would hit you first. And then of course over my nose. All right, so for contour, I'm going to use the same one that I used for my nose, and this is going to be super duper light. Super duper light. I don't even know if it's going to show up on my skin tone right now because I'm tanned, but we're going to try it anyway. And what I'm doing is just going over my natural bone structure and just making it more pronounced. And then bringing the excess up into my hairline. I don't really have a big forehead, but I also don't want to make it look huge. Can you guys see a difference? All right. Now we're going to go into a bronzing and highlight palette. This is from Morphe. Once again, this is not really drugstore, but it is very affordable. You can find this at Ulta. And I'm going to be using the shade, what do I want to use today? I'm going to go in with the shade Debutante right here. And I'm just going to use that on the same brush that I used to apply my blush. And I'm just going in lightly. I don't want a crap ton of bronze because my skin is already tan from the foundation. And I always take my my bronzer and blush over the nose. Once again, because of that, you know, if you were actually sun-kissed, that's where it would hit. I forgot to contour my neck because bitch needs help. Okay, so let me go back into that contour real quick and just contour this double chin. Let me zoom you guys out a little bit so you can see a bit better. So I'm going in with the Catrice Prime and Fine spray. I use this often, however, I have found that the Becca Skin Love spray really gives a beautiful glow. But this will do for what we need right now, which is basically to melt all of these powders to prevent us from looking hella dry, because I have dry skin. Yes, I drench my skin. I drench my skin because, you know, applying just a little bit is not going to set your face, okay? All right, so now I'm going to apply my highlighter, and then I'm going to go in with that spray again. For highlight, I'm going to use the Catrice Liquid Metal Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade We Are the Champagnes. And I'm going to use it on a brush. I've had this eyeshadow forever. I love it. It's so multi-purpose. But as you can see, it makes a beautiful, subtle highlight. I used to love beaming highlights, not so much anymore. I do have a little bit more texture on my skin than I have had when I was younger. So it's better to not bring too much attention to that when I'm highlighting. Yeah, and I like to put some above my brow right there. Upper lip. All right, and I'm gonna spray my face down again. All right, so now we're moving into lips. You can, of course, do a nude if you'd like, but I'm going to keep the dark theme going. I have a smoky eye. I'm going to do a dark lip, and it's going to be brown because remember, this is all mint chocolate inspired. So I'm going in with the NYX liquid, it's definitely not a liquid, it's a pencil. Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Club Hopper. And I'm only gonna lightly go over my lips. You guys know I love to overdraw, but today I'm just gonna contour rather than overdraw. And then first I'm gonna go in with the NYX Suede lipstick in the shade Cold Brew. This is like a perfect dead-on, ooh, look at that. I can't apply a lipstick. This is like a perfect dead-on match for Club Hopper. But I'm not going for like super defined lips. So I'm going to use my finger to blend that out. All right, so next I'm going in with the shade Double Espresso from Milani. This is old as hell. I don't even know if they still make this, but it's a brown lipstick and it's supposed to have a sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have a sheen. Once again, I'm going to apply it to my lips and then use my finger to blend it out. All right, so this is the final look. And I went ahead and pressed some of that eyeshadow We Are the Champagnes that I used for my highlight across my lips to give them more of a shimmer. So what do you guys think? I love this look, especially if you are someone like me that loves bright colors, but also likes a good smoky. Like I said, I will be having more videos where my eyes are not as smoky, but girl, try it and tell me this doesn't look good. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, then please give me a big thumbs up. Press the subscribe button down in the description box so you don't miss any more content from me. Share this video because sharing is caring, and since you're here, you might as well watch some videos. By the way, there are still going to be links to organizations that you can help support financially that are helping the Black community across the nation to get recognized and put an end to police brutality. So don't think just because I'm back doing makeup videos that I have forgotten what's going on in the world, okay? Those are going to be in my description box forever now. So if you are able to contribute, do your part, okay? Do your part, because this is an all-person kind of thing, but more specifically, Black lives, okay? All right. Anyway, here are those videos right there. Support your girl, okay? And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!